Unit 14, Third edition, Interchange 1, Part 2. Unit 14, Part 2. Vocab book. 8. Test. Amusement. Entertainment. Entertainment. Non-stop. Without stopping. Non-stop. Without stopping. British. Non-stop. Without stopping. Singapore. Singapore, a place in Asia. Asia. We don't say Asia. No, in English, Asia. Isolated. Deserted. Isolated. Deserted. 11. The words in exercise number 11. Fascinating. Fascinating. T soft D. British. Fascinating. American. Fascinating. Wonderful. Culture. Locate off. Located. Located. Be situated. 12. SUVs. Sport utility vehicles. Sport utility vehicles. Utility. British utility. American utility. T soft D. SUVs. Sport utility vehicles. Vehicles. Machines for transporting people or things. Vehicles. Machines used for transporting people or things. Short. Vehicles. Machines used for transporting. Machines used for transporting. Machines for transporting. قلنا لو كان المصطلح الترجمة بتاعته بالإنجليش والتعريف بكبير ممكن لنا نختصره vehicles, machines for transporting. Acid rain. Drops of water containing harmful chemicals. Acid rain. Drops of water containing harmful chemicals. Tune up. Tuned up. Tuned up. Adjusted. Fluorescent. 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 Giving off a very bright light when electricity goes through it. Fluorescent. Giving off a very bright light when electricity goes through it. American electricity. British electricity. Throw away. Dispose of. Get rid of. Throw away. Dispose of. Get rid of. Landfills. Places where garbage is buried. Landfills. Places where garbage is buried. Over and over again. Repeatedly. Over and over again. Repeatedly. Disposable products. Disposable. S here the sound. وpronounce S as the. هننطق الاس هنا زي الزد او الزي. Disposable. Disposable products. Disposable products. Things that can be thrown away after being used. Recycled. Collected to be used again. Low flow shower head. Low flow shower head, a device that controls the movement of water. Low flow shower head, a device that controls the movement of water. Leaky. Allowing water to escape. Leaky. Allowing water to escape. Item. A single article. Item. A single article. Faucet. Faucet. Tap. Faucet. Tap. Tap. An encyclopedia. An encyclopedia. A group of books which deals with human knowledge. A group of books which deals with human knowledge. Interchange 1, Unit 14, Part 2. 7. Exercise number 7, the change 14. How much do you know? This is an activity. Exercise number 8, snapshot. Test your world knowledge. Knowledge, British, American, knowledge. Test your world knowledge. Here you have information, and then you check through the facts that you think are true, and then check your answers at the bottom of the snapshot. You make it true or false. 1. France is the most popular city to visit. Popular, famous. Popular, British. France is the most popular country to visit. It has about 76 million visitors a year. France is the most popular country to visit. It has about 76 million visitors a year. You choose here true or false. 2. China has the largest number of stores in the world. There are over 19 million stores. Stores, shops. American, shops. In China, there are more than 19 million shops. Is this right or wrong? Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest lake on earth. It's 1,637 meters deep. Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest lake on earth. It's 1,637 meters deep. Deep to go down. Tokyo. Tokyo Disneyland is the world's most popular amusement park. It has over 25 million visitors a year. Tokyo Disneyland is the world's most popular amusement park. It has over 25 million visitors a year. Every year, about 25 million tourists and visitors visit Tokyo Disneyland. It's about every month 2 millions, more than 2 millions. Is this right or wrong? The longest non-stop flight is from New York to Singapore. It's 18 hours long. When you travel from Egypt to Saudi Arabia, from Cairo to Riyadh, it takes 3 hours. Here, by airplane, you fly from New York to Singapore in 18 hours. This is right or wrong? The busiest airport in the world is London Heathrow, with over 55 million passengers a year. Every year, more than 55 million passengers arrives or travels from Heathrow Airport. Heathrow Airport is in London. It means like every month about 5 million passengers travel from this airport or travel to this airport. Is this right or wrong? You choose right or wrong. Canada. Canada has the longest coastline of any country on earth. It's 243,792 kilometers long. This is about 151,485 miles. Again, the numbers in miles: 151,485 miles long. You know that from Cairo to Aswan, 1,000 kilometers. So Canada has more than 243,000 kilometers. Coastlines, it means coastline, it means like you have shore, coast, on ocean, sea, river, lake. Easter Island is the world's most isolated island. Isolated, deserted, means far away from people. The island is the world's most isolated island. It's about 3,700 kilometers from the South American continent. It's about 2,300 miles from the South American continent. That means between Easter Island and the nearest country, the nearest city, 3,700 kilometers. The same distance from Cairo to Aswan about four times. Or the same distance from Riyadh to Mecca 4 times. Now check through the facts that you think are true. Then check your answers at the bottom of the snapshot. Here you choose for every answer true or false. And then you check the truth. All the facts are true. All of them are correct. All the facts are true. All the facts are correct. Then you have here 8 sentences. If you make 2 wrong, you will get 6 from 8. If you make 4 wrong, you will get 4 out of 8. If you made all of them wrong, you will get 0 out of 8. Now, what is the largest city in your country? The largest city in Egypt, is Cairo. This is for the number of people. And the largest city in Egypt is the New Valley. The New Valley is more than 40% of Egypt. This is the surface. What is the most popular city to visit? The most popular city to visit is Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh, Luxor, Marsa Alam, Alexandria. We have a lot of cities. What is the busiest airport? The busiest airport in Egypt is Cairo Airport. The busiest airport is Cairo Airport. Exercise number 9. Look at the picture. What do you see? Road, a lot of trees, like a forest, desert, sea, lake, mountain, 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 mount, mountain, mount, Mount Cook, Mount Cook, Mountain Cook. Let's start to listen. Exercise number 9, conversation, distances and measurements. Listen and practice.
Page 95. Exercise 9. Conversation. Distances and measurements. Part A. Listen and practice.
I'm going to Australia next year. Aren't you from Australia, Beth?
Actually, I'm from New Zealand.
Oh, I didn't know that. So what's it like there?
Oh, it's beautiful. It has lots of farms, and it's very mountainous.
Really? How high are the mountains?
Well, the highest one is Mount Cook. It's about 3,800 meters high.
How far is New Zealand from Australia?
Well, I live in Auckland, and Auckland is about 2,000 kilometers from Sydney.
Well, maybe I should visit you next year too.
Exercise number 9. Distances and measurements. Listen and practice. Distance, the distance between two places, and how can we measure it? Like from Cairo to Alex, the distance is about 250 kilometers. This conversation is between Scott and Beth. Scott, I'm going to Australia next year. Aren't you from Australia, Beth? Actually, I'm from New Zealand. So where is Beth from? Beth is from New Zealand. So Beth is from New Zealand. Oh, I didn't know that. So what's it like there? What's it like there? What's New Zealand like? Tell me about New Zealand. Describe New Zealand. Oh, it's beautiful. It has lots of farms and it's very mountainous. Mountainous, it has a lot of mountains. Really? How high are the mountains? Well, the highest one is Mount Cook. It's about 3,800 meters high. So the highest mountain is Mount Cook. This is Mount Cook in New Zealand, and it's about 3,800 meters high. How far is New Zealand from Australia? What is the distance between New Zealand and Australia? How far is New Zealand from Australia? Well, I live in Auckland, and Auckland is about 2,000 kilometers from Sydney. The distance between Sydney and Auckland is about 2,000 kilometers. 2,000 kilometers. Well, maybe I should visit you next year too. First question. What's Scott gonna do next year? Scott is going to travel to Australia next year. Is Beth from Australia? No, she's from New Zealand. What's New Zealand like? New Zealand is very beautiful. It has lots of farms. It has a lot of mountains. How high are the mountains? The highest mountain is Mount Cook. How high is Mount Cook? Mount Cook is about 3,800 meters high. How far is New Zealand from Australia? What is the distance between Australia and New Zealand? The distance between Auckland and Sydney is about 2,000 kilometers. Sydney is the capital of Australia. What is Scott gonna do next year? Next year, Scott is going to visit Australia and New Zealand. Number B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What else is New Zealand famous for? New Zealand is famous for what? If I am a tourist and I'm gonna travel to New Zealand, what I'm gonna do?
Page 95. Exercise 9. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What else is New Zealand famous for?
Tell me a little more about New Zealand, Beth.
Well, it has some great beaches. There are some excellent surfing beaches in the North Island.
Well, I don't really like surfing, but I love boating.
Really? You can go boating in Auckland. It's one of the most popular places for sailing. And you should definitely try jet boating in the South Island.
Oh, I'd love to do that. It sounds really exciting.
It is. And there's good skiing in New Zealand. Lots of people go there to ski.
It sounds perfect for me. Now I have to go.
Listen again.
Page 95. Exercise 9. What else is New Zealand famous for?
Tell me a little more about New Zealand, Beth.
Well, it has some great beaches. There are some excellent surfing beaches in the North Island.
Well, I don't really like surfing, but I love boating.
Really? You can go boating in Auckland. It's one of the most popular places for sailing. And you should definitely try jet boating in the South Island.
Oh, I'd love to do that. It sounds really exciting.
It is. And there's good skiing in New Zealand. Lots of people go there to ski.
It sounds perfect for me. Now I have to go.
Number B. What else is New Zealand famous for? New Zealand is famous for surfing great beaches in North Island. Boating is in Auckland. Jet boating is in South Island. Boating, American, British, boating. Boating is in Auckland. Jet boating is in South Island. Sailing is in Auckland. A lot of people go to New Zealand for skiing. Boating. Boating, T soft D, boating. American boating. British boating. This is a boat. Boating, boating sport. Jet boating, jet boating. Jet boating, boating, British, American, boating, jet boating. This is jet boating. We have a boat with a jet, with a motor. Jet boating. Very fast. Surfing. Surfing. This is a surfing board. Surfing board. Surfing, waves riding. A surfer. A surfer, a person who rides a wave. A person who rides waves. Surfing. Surfer, surfing board, the sport of surfing. Surfing sport. Windsurfing. This is windsurfing. Wind. Windsurfing. Skiing. Water skiing. Water skiing, to ski on water. Skiing. Water skiing. Sailing. This is boat, and the boat has a sail. Sailing. Sailing sport. Exercise number 10. Questions with how. Questions with how.
Page 96. Exercise 10. Grammar focus. Questions with how.
How far is New Zealand from Australia?
It's about 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles.
How big is Singapore?
It's 648 square kilometers, 250 square miles. How high is Mount Cook?
It's 3,740 meters high, 12,250 feet.
How deep is the Grand Canyon?
It's about 1,900 meters deep, 6,250 feet. How long is the Mississippi River?
It's about 5,970 kilometers long, 3,710 miles. How hot is Auckland in the summer?
It gets up to about 23 degrees Celsius, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. How cold is it in the winter?
It goes down to about 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Questions with how. How far is New Zealand from Australia? It's about 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles. How far? I use how far to ask about the distance. How far? Distance. How big is Singapore? It's 648 square kilometers, 250 square miles. How big? How big? Surface. I ask about the surface. How high is Mount Cook? It's 3,740 and 40 meters high. Meters, American meters. T sub D. 12,250 feet. How deep is the Grand Canyon? How deep is the Grand Canyon? It's about 1,900 meters deep. Meters. 6,250 feet. How long is the Mississippi River? It's about 5,970 kilometers long. 3,710 miles. So, how high? You ask about height, go up. How deep? Depths, go down. How long? Length. Like how long is the Mississippi River? How hot is Auckland in the summer? How hot? The temperature in the summer. It gets up to about 23 Celsius, 74 Fahrenheit. How cold? How cold is it in the winter? How cold? How cold is it in the winter? How cold? Temperature. It goes down to about 10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. Questions with how. Questions with how. Questions with how. A and B. A question, B answer. Ahmed and Ibrahim. How big is Egypt? How big is Egypt? It's about 1 million square kilometers. Kilometers? T sub D, kilometers. How long is the Nile? How long is the Nile? It's about 6,670 kilometers long. How long? 6,670 kilometers long. How old are you? I am 40 years old. How old? 40 years old. How far is Cairo from Alex? It's about 250 kilometers. It's about 250 kilometers. How far? 250 kilometers. How big? 1 million square kilometers. How big? I ask for surface. The surface of land. How long? 6,670 kilometers long. For length. How long? I ask about length. How old? How old are you? 40 years old. How old? Age. How far? How far is Cairo from Alex? How far? 250 kilometers. Distance. I ask about distance. I ask about the distance. How big? Surface. How long? Length. How old? Age. How far? Distance. A and B. How big is Egypt? It's about 1 million square kilometers. So here, how big? Surface. I use how big to ask about surface. How long is the Nile? It's about 6,670 kilometers long. How long? Length. Length, G silent. How old are you? I'm 40 years old. How old are you? 40 years old. How old? Age. I ask about age. How far? How far is Cairo from Alex? is about 250 kilometers. This is the distance between Cairo and Alexandria. And Alex, how far distance? How hot is Cairo in the summer? It gets up to 30 Celsius. 30 Celsius. American, 30 Celsius. I ask here about the temperature and the weather. The temperature of the weather. How cold is Cairo in the winter? It goes down to about 10 Celsius. Celsius, 10 Celsius. How cold? 10 Celsius. How cold is Cairo in the winter? 10 Celsius. Temperature. How cold? The temperature of the weather. Again, how big? Surface. How long? Length. How old? Age. How far? Distance. How hot? Temperature. How cold? Temperature. Questions with how, adjective, how far, how big, how high, how deep, how long, how hot, how cold. How, adjective, is, are, subject. Singular subject, is. Plural subject, 2, 3, 4, are. Answer, it's. Be, it's. Plural, they are. Most of time, it's. A. Write the questions to these answers. Write the questions to these answers and practice with a partner. In this question, you write how high, how far, how big, how long, how hot, how cold. How plus adjective. Okay? Then, 1 minute, you will check your answers. Angel Falls is 979 meters high. Angel Falls is 979 meters high, 3,212 feet high. In the answer high, questions high. How high? How high is Angel Falls? How high is Angel Falls? So it falls, water falls. How high is Angel Falls? 2. A. Question. B. California. California, Cali. Americans, they say Cali for California. California is about 970 square kilometers. That's 155,973 square miles. So California, Cali is about 403,970 square kilometers. Kilometers, T soft D. The question here, I talk about what? The surface. The surface of the land of Cali, of California. The question, how big is California? How big is Cali? How big is California? 3. A question. 3. A question. B. The Nile is 6,670 kilometers long. The Nile is 6,670 kilometers long, 4,145 miles long. The question I took about length, long. How long is the Nile? How long is the Nile? 4. Washington, D.C. gets up to about 32 Celsius. American, 32 Celsius in the summer. 90 Fahrenheit. 32 Celsius, 90 Fahrenheit. Here we talk about what? Temperature goes up. This is hot. How hot? How hot is Washington DC? How hot is Washington DC in the summer? How hot is Washington in the summer? Washington DC gets up to about 32 Celsius in the summer. Exercise number 10B. Group work. Think of 5 questions with how about places in your country or other countries you know. Ask and answer your questions in groups. So here in this question, you try to make a question with how. Like, how far is Cairo from Alexandria? How far is Cairo from Aswan? How hot is Aswan in the summer? How hot is Aswan in the winter? How long is the Nile in Egypt? How big? How big is Alexandria? How big is Cairo? Then you ask the question to your friend and your friend answers. 11. Writing an article. Write an article for a country's website. Include general information about the country and recommend the best places to visit. Here, look at the picture. You see what? Greenland, mountain, fog. The weather is foggy. Young man is walking, he's hiking. It's an island in Korea. The island name is Jeju Island in Korea. You start to write an article about any country. Korea's best kept secret. Korea is one of the most interesting countries in the world. There is a fascinating mix of both ancient and modern in this small Northeast Asian country. It's famous for its beautiful landscape, rich culture, and delicious food. One of the most popular places to visit is Jeju Island. Located off the southern coast, this rare island is blah blah blah. So, what is Korea like? Korea is one of the most interesting countries in the world. It has a mixture of both ancient, very old, and modern and new. So you have here ancient, very old, and you have new cultures, both in one country. What's Korea famous for? It's famous for its beautiful landscape. This is a landscape, a green area. Rich culture and delicious food. The food in Korea is very delicious. What are the most places to visit in Korea? One of the most popular places to visit is Jeju Island. Where is it? It's on the southern coast. Exercise number 12. Exercise number 12, reading. Look at the picture here. Things you can do to help the environment. What are the things you can do to help the environment? The environment, the area around us, the area that we are living in it. I have here different pictures. Look at the picture. Which one is the solution? Which one is the problem? 1. Cars. 2. I have here a lot of cars. Picture 2. Someone is riding a bicycle. And he's wearing a suit, glasses. He has a briefcase. Paragraph 1. Cars are getting bigger. SUVs, large truck-like vehicles, are now the most popular new cars in the United States. They're the most famous cars in the USA. Bigger vehicles burn more gas and increase problems with acid rain and air pollution. So these bigger cars burn a lot of gas, and this causes air pollution. This is the problem. What is the solution? So try to walk, bicycle, or use public transportation. Walk in the street, ride a bicycle, ride a bicycle, or use public transportation. Public transportation, buses, trains. And if you drive a car, keep it tuned up. If you drive a car, please be sure that your car is fixed well. This can save gas and reduce pollution. This can save gas and decrease pollution. Paragraph 2. Look at the picture. Bulb, saving bulb. Like Mr. Nasih in Egypt. He has saving bulb, or Mr. Nasih uses saving bulb. Energy. The biggest use of home energy is for heating and cooling. Heating. American. British, heating. The biggest use of home energy is for heating and cooling. To make the atmosphere around you hot or cold. Use the air condition to make the area around you hot or make it cold. So, turn up your air conditioner and turn down the heat. Especially at night. So you should turn up your air conditioner. This is an air conditioner, you should turn it up. And you should turn down the heat, especially at night. What is the solution? Replace regular light bulbs with fluorescent bulb, which use less energy. And remember to turn lights off. So the solution, you should replace the regular light bulbs with fluorescent bulbs or saving light bulbs, which use less energy. And remember to turn lights off. Before you go out, turn lights off. So what is the problem of energy? That we use for home energy a lot of energy for heating and cooling. So what should we do? What is the solution? What are the suggestions to solve the problem? Turn down the heat, especially at night, if I'm gonna use an air conditioner. Replace regular light bulbs with fluorescent bulbs. Use less energy. Remember all the time to turn the lights off. Paragraph 3. Picture 5. A lot of garbage, a tractor. What's this? This is a landfill. It's a place where you throw all the garbage of the town or the city. It's a place where you bury your garbage. Picture number 6. Recycled paperboard. Paperboard. 100% recycled. Picture 5 is the problem, and picture 6 is the solution. Products. Each American throws away an average of 10 kilograms of trash every day. This is about 4.5 pounds. Most of the trash goes into landfills. The garbage or the trash all of these garbage and all of that trash goes to the landfills. This is the landfills. So what should we do? Reduce waste before you buy by asking yourself, do I need the item? Is it something I can only use once? Do I need the thing or not? Is it something I can only use one time? Buy products that you can use over and over again. You should buy products that you're gonna use it in all your life. If you use disposable products, choose those made from recycled materials. If I'm gonna use disposable products that gonna be used for 1 or 2, 3 times only, I'm gonna choose those that are made from recycled materials. When I'm gonna throw them, the factory gonna recycle them again and again and again. So this is the solution. Let's ask some questions about paragraph number 3. Where does the trash go? The trash goes into landfills. How can we solve the problem of trash and garbage? We should reduce waste before we buy things. We should buy products that we can use over and over again. We should buy products that are made from recycled materials. Paragraph number 4. Look at the picture. 7. Shower head. This is a problem of water, low flow shower head. 8. Faucet. Faucet, tap. This is leaky faucet. Leaky, you have some drops of water getting out of this tap. 7. Solution. 8. The problem. Shower use a lot of water. In 1 week, a typical American family uses as much water as a person drinks in 3 years. Buy a special low-flow shower head or take shorter showers. This can cut water use in half. Also, fix any leaky faucets. When you take a shower, you use a lot of water. In 1 week, a usual American family uses as much water as the person drinks in 3 years. What does it mean? If every day you are going to drink 2 liters of water, in 1 year 700 liters, about 700 liters. In 3 years, you can say 2,500 liters of water. American family uses 2,500 liters of water just in taking showers in 1 week. What is the solution? Buy a special low-flow shower head. This is shower head and it's low flow. Or take shorter showers. You can take shower for a short time. You can take a shower for a short time. Why? Because this is gonna cut water use in half. this is gonna consume water into 50%. Also, fix any leaky faucets. This is a leaky faucet, you should fix it, you should repair it. A. Read the article. Where do you think it's from? Check through the correct answer. A text box, an encyclopedia, a group of books, a magazine, an advertisement. A. Read the article. Where do you think it's from? Check through the correct answers. A text box, an encyclopedia, a group of books, a magazine, an advertisement. The answer is a magazine. Why? A magazine like a newspaper. A magazine because we have here a title, things you can do to help the environment, different pictures, a lot of information in different paragraphs, the problem and the solution, every problem and its solution. So this is a magazine. B. Read the statements, then write the advice from the article that each person should follow. In this exercise, you will read every sentence and then you write an advice like you should, he should, she should. Okay, you can use should plus main verb. Stephanie always takes long showers in the morning. She should buy a low-flow shower head. Or she should take short showers. She should take short showers. She should buy low-flow shower head, a low-flow shower head. 2. In the winter, Ralph keeps the heat turned up all day. He should turn down the heat during the day. He should turn down the heat during the day. 3. Matt buys the newspaper every day but never reads it. So every day Mr. Matt buys the newspaper but he doesn't read it. So number 3, Matt should think before he buys it. Matt should think before he buys it. 4. Stuart drives to work, but his office is near his home. His office next to his house, next to his home. He should walk, or he should bicycle to work. He should bicycle to work. He should ride a bicycle, or he should walk to work. Walk. 5. Shelia leaves the lights on at home all the time. So she should buy fluorescent bulbs and remember to turn lights off. Shelia should buy fluorescent bulbs and remember to turn lights off. C. What other ways do you know about to help the environment? So here you write your suggestion to help the environment. We have finished. Let's have the homework. Homework for Unit 14, Part 2. You will answer 3 pages from the workbook. This is number 1. Number 2. It's 18 hours long. When you travel from Egypt to Saudi Arabia, from Cairo to Riyadh, it takes 3 hours. Here, by aeroplane, you fly from New York to Singapore in 18 hours. This is right or wrong? The busiest airport in the world is London Heathrow, with over 55 million passengers a year. Every year, more than 55 million passengers arrives or travels from Heathrow Airport. Heathrow Airport is in London. It means like every month about 5 million passengers travel from this airport or travel to this airport. Is this right or wrong? You choose right or wrong. Canada has the longest coastline of any country on earth. It's 243,792 kilometers long. This is about 151,485 miles. Again, the numbers in miles: 151,485 miles long. You know that from Cairo to Aswan, 1,000 kilometers. So Canada has more than 243,000 kilometers. Coastlines, it means coastline, it means like you have shore, coast, on ocean, sea, river. American utility, T sub D. SUVs, sport utility vehicles. Vehicles, machines for transporting people or things. Vehicles, machines used for transporting people or things. Short, vehicles, machines used for transporting. Machines used for transporting. Machines for transporting. قلنا لو كان المصطلح الترجمة بتاعته بالإنجليش والتعريف بكبير ممكن لا نختصره. Vehicles, machines for transporting. Acid rain. Drops of water containing harmful chemicals. Acid rain. Drops of water containing harmful chemicals. Tune up. Tuned up. Tuned up, adjusted. Fluorescent. Fluorescent. Fluorescent, giving off a very bright light when electricity goes through it. Fluorescent, giving off a very bright light when electricity goes through it. American electricity. British electricity. Throw away, dispose of, get rid of. Throw away, dispose of, get rid of. Landfills, places where garbage is buried. Landfills, places where garbage is buried. Over and over again, repeatedly. Over and over again, repeatedly. You make it true or false. 1. France is the most popular city to visit. Popular, famous. Popular, British. France is the most popular country to visit. It has about 76 million visitors a year. France is the most popular country to visit. It has about 76 million visitors a year. You choose here true or false. 2. China has the largest number of stores in the world. There are over 19 million stores. Stores, shops. American shops. In China, there are more than 19 million shops. Is this right or wrong? Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest lake on earth. It's 1,637 meters deep. Lake Baikal in Russia is the deepest lake on earth. It's 1,637 meters deep. Deep to go down. Tokyo. Tokyo Disneyland is the world's most popular amusement park. It has over 25 million visitors a year. Tokyo Disneyland is the world's most popular amusement park. It has over 25 million visitors a year. Every year, about 25 million tourists and visitors visit Tokyo Disneyland. It's about every month 2 millions, more than 2 millions. Is this right or wrong? The longest non-stop flight is from New York to Singapore. Disposable products. Disposable is here the sound وpronounce as the. هننطق الاس هنا زي الزد او الزي. Disposable products. Disposable products, things that can be thrown away after being used. Recycled, collected to be used again. Low flow shower head. Low flow shower head, a device that controls the movement of water. Low flow shower head, a device that controls the movement of water. Leaky, allowing water to escape. Leaky, allowing water to escape. Item, a single article. Item, a single article. Faucet, faucet, tap. Faucet, tap. Tap. An encyclopedia. An encyclopedia, a group of books which deals with human knowledge. A group of books which deals with human knowledge. Interchange 1, Unit 14, Part 2. 7. Exercise number 7, the change 14. How much do you know? This is an activity. Exercise number 8. Snapshot. Test your world knowledge. Knowledge, British, American, knowledge. Test your world knowledge. Here you have information, and then you check through the facts that you think are true, and then check your answers at the bottom of the snapshot. Unit 14, Third edition, Interchange 1, Part 2. Unit 14, Part 2. Vocab Book. 8. Test. Amusement. Entertainment. Entertainment. Non-stop. Without stopping. Non-stop. Without stopping. British, non-stop. Without stopping. Singapore. Singapore, a place in Asia. Asia. We don't say Asia, no. In English, Asia. Isolated. Deserted. Isolated. Deserted. 11. The words in exercise number 11. Fascinating. Fascinating, T soft D. British, fascinating. American, fascinating. Wonderful. Culture. Locate off. Located, located. Be situated. SUVs. Sport utility vehicles. Sport utility vehicles. Utility. British utility.